okay? You're all dead!
All right, guys, so I sure hope you like movies from Australia, because we got a creature feature from down under that is literally from down under. Let's get into it. What's up, guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Void. Happy Voidtober. Happy Halloween. We are in spooky month, and I've got a ton of stuff planned for you that I hope you will enjoy if YouTube permits. Sometimes she's nice to me, sometimes she hates me, you cruel bitch. But either way, I'm going to be putting out a lot of risky content that I think you will enjoy, that I think if you take the time to watch, you'll find some different stuff on this channel than you might find here normally. And I think that's a good idea for this channel, to kind of do some fun things for Halloween. Heads up, we already did something yesterday. Now, I didn't do the backdrop at the time I did that video, but it is two disturbing animated horror films that I have known for quite a while that got re-released that you're going to want to check out. This stuff is disturbing, and I thought the video was fun, so check that out. But today, we're going to be doing a spoiler-free review of Scurry, which is an Australian film by the director Luke Spark, by the way, who is the director of Primitive War. You know that movie, the dinosaurs in Vietnam? Yeah, that movie. Pretty fucking cool, right? Well, this is a movie that was made in 2024 and is now just seeing the light out here in the States. It's coming out October 3rd in VOD and limited theatrical run. So if you want to go out to the theater to see a creature feature, well, you can now. This movie was also helped written by Tom Evans, who did a movie called Bring Him to Me, and it's got some pretty decent stars in here. Jamie Costa and Amália. Amália is a Portuguese Australian singer actress who stars in this role. It's essentially two people, complete strangers, find themselves trapped underground when the city is attacked by a monstrous, dangerous threat. Badly injured and limited to resources, they must navigate treacherous, narrowing tunnels underground in the hopes of finding an exit and getting back home. But it isn't going to be easy, and it might get a little bloody, and it might be just the right sweet treat that you need for a little creature feature. Now, keep in mind, this is an independent film. This is not a $120 million creature feature, aliens attack kind of movie, okay? So you're gonna have to lower your expectations a little bit and understand that sometimes you can make a small film feel much bigger by doing some specific tricks. What they do here with this creature feature is really take a little bit of time to do some similar kind of tropey situations where people are stuck together in a situation where they may or may not trust each other, and, you know, they have to survive. And so they have to kind of put things aside to let that go and get back home to their loved ones or whatever it is that they're doing in their lives. And these two characters, one's sort of a family man and one's kind of a person who's undisclosed for most of the movie. They don't really want to say. They're very shadowy, and so it kind of adds a little bit of an element of kind of back and forth with each other. Ultimately, survival takes over, and they have to kind of take to the tunnels to save themselves. And what they find are some pretty crazy looking creatures that are a weird mix. I don't want to say what they look like, but if you watch the trailer, you can get a better idea on the CGI. Now, as far as the creatures go, I thought they looked pretty decent. I think it looked pretty scary at times when they got up close and you see the faces of these things. Ugh. Not something I'd want to be in a tunnel with, that's for damn sure. But yeah, it's not too bad. And the CGI was fairly decent for the most part. So let's just say they have an insect kind of vibe going for them, but a little bit meatier. So it is a little weirder. It is CGI, mostly that I recall. I don't think I saw anything that was practical necessarily, but some of it does do well, and some of it fares kind of mid, but for the most part, I think they did a really good job with a little bit of money to make it seem very big. And I think that's kind of what you're going for with a movie like this, is that you want to condense it down into a situation where it's, you know, tense and, you know, tunnels and, you know, the old tense suspense tunnels thing that they do that Alien was so popular for. Kind of similar, not going to say it's the same, clearly not on the same pedigree, but it's a fun movie for the most part. I enjoyed most of it. It did take a while to get where I was really invested in the movie. some of the acting in this movie was a little spotty at times, easily watchable, not something bad necessarily, but if you've never seen any like low budget films, it may be the worst thing you've ever experienced. I'm starting to learn from some of my comments. But I gotta explain to you, I think this is more than above average in acting, and I think they do a fairly decent job. Some of the writing is a little wonky and unbelievable in certain situations, but we're talking about a creature feature film that's trying to be a close quarters tense film. You know that movie that they did with Ryan Reynolds where he was like in a coffin and he wakes up and it's like really tense? Not on that level, guys, but indie level. Think indie level. It does have some gore, and there is one scene in it that I was like, holy crap, that's pretty awesome. So they do have some light droppings of gore in the film, in camera a little bit, and some off, obviously, but they did take the time to do that. And there's one scene that I really thought was really funny that I can't say that I thought was really cool, and it was kind of awesome. Yeah, for the most part, taper your expectations down on the gore. It's just a little bit in there, but it's just enough to kind of sweeten the pot and make it feel good by the second or third act, where the action sort of starts to pick back up. And that's kind of the most important thing to me, is that it can be a little slow in the beginning, but it has to pick back up and do something by the end to sell me on the whole movie experience in general. All movies are made up of many parts into one whole, so I don't just grade a movie on was I entertained, because every movie would be, for the most part, somewhat entertaining, but there's just a little bit of everything in here that I could either gripe with or say good about. I'm kind of a little bit above mid on this one. I still think that there is some things that they did in this movie. Actual shots are really pretty nice in a lot of moments, which I thought was fantastic. Some of the lighting and things like that, they did pretty well too. So there is good stuff in this movie. It's not that it's bad or anything. It's just they didn't have a lot of money to do a whole lot, so you sometimes have to kind of do that. And it kind of holds this film back a little bit, but not a lot, because the director, the producer, and everybody were able to kind of salvage it and make something I think was fairly decent. I don't know that I would rush out to the theater to see this, to be quite honest with you, but I don't think it would be a bad watch to watch on VOD for myself. But yeah, I would give this one probably about a 6 out of 10. I'm kind of wavering there. It could go either way, honestly. I wasn't expecting a whole lot, so I don't think I went into this going, oh my God, this is gonna be fucking Starship Troopers, because it's not, and you should not expect that, because if you do, you're gonna be very upset. Okay, so don't do that, okay? Just understand that they're trying to do a lot with a little, and that's not me trying to, dumb it down or anything. I'm just trying to let you know what to expect from this film, and I think if you know that and you're okay with that, this might be an okay film for you. You may be higher than me, you could be lower than me, but that's what my score is, about a 6 out of 10. I did get the screener sent. I requested to get a screener, and I thank you guys so much for allowing me to check it out. It's about time this film came out. Finally, it's out in 2025 for people to see, and I look forward to checking out the new Primitive War when it drops, because I'm curious as hell to see how that went, because I heard some of my buddies say that it was actually pretty good, and if it's even just a little bit better than this, then I'm on board. But yeah, I would love to hear what you think in the comment section down below. October 3rd, it's there for you to decide. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and thank you guys so much. Happy Voidtober, everyone. Let's get this motherfather started, okay? Thanks for coming by, and as always, long live the Void.